So are you moving to Atlanta soon and you're trying to decide, do I go ahead and buy something right away, or do I fill Atlanta out and rent something for a year and then maybe make that purchase down the road? Well, to be honest, there's really no correct answer. Everybody's different, but I'll give you my take on renting versus buying when moving to a new city like Atlanta, and hopefully that will help you out a little bit in your decision. So let's get into it. Let's talk all about living in Atlanta right now. Hey there, my name is Molly and welcome to my channel. If you are new or returning and you want to know everything there is to know about living in the Atlanta area, well, you've come to the right place. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Give this video a like, helps me out. If you want to be notified when I post another video about the Atlanta area, make sure you tap that bell as well. I am here to help you find a place that fits your lifestyle and your budget. So as always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, or you can put any questions in the comments box below. All my info is down below as well. So love hearing from you and can't wait to help you out. I am a real estate agent, so I can help you out with that home purchase if you decide to buy something when you move here and you need help with that. So make sure you're reaching out to me. So here we go. I get this question a lot and I've been getting it a lot lately. I don't know if a lot of you are thinking about moving to Atlanta soon or what the deal is, but you're thinking, well, you know, let's just say you can buy something right now, but maybe you're just a little hesitant because you don't really know Atlanta, you know? Are you gonna really like the area that you're looking in? And you know, I get it. Like, I moved to Atlanta, I didn't know up from down. I didn't know anybody in this city. So we were kind of at that same point of like, do we buy something when we really don't know the areas and we don't know what the people are like, or do we just rent something? And personally, I just do not like packing, moving up, unpacking to live somewhere for a year in rent and then pack it up all again. And, you know, I just hate moving. Moving is a pain. And every time you move, I feel like you acquire more stuff. You hear me? So for me, I was just like, you know, if we can find a home, then I much prefer to just buy something. So well, that's what we did. My husband and I, we searched homes. Our poor realtor at the time, I think we saw 30 plus homes in one weekend and then ended up landing in the home we are in, and we've been here for 11 years. So we like it pretty well. We feel like we lucked out. I mean, my husband had a conversation with a couple of his future colleagues saying, hey, where's some good places to live? So we took their advice and just kind of honed in on those areas. We kind of had an idea of like, hey, we need to live within a mile, so many mile radius of where my husband's work was going to be. So that was, you know, it helped us focus on an area. So, you know, if you're moving here to Atlanta and you're going to be working at a specific location and you want under 15-minute drive time commute, or maybe you just want to live in a very walkable location, or maybe you just want to live around the corner from a coffee shop, or you need to be within 15 minutes of the airport. Whatever that is, you know, if you have some parameters like that, that can really help you narrow down your search of where you want to live. So if you're one that just does not want to have to unpack, repack, and, you know, do it a couple of times over, then you certainly can move here and buy something right away. You don't have to be scared. Luckily, you have YouTube as a great resource. You know, I'm not the only agent that is making videos about the Atlanta area, but I do focus a lot on in the city of Atlanta, not the suburbs. So, you know, if you're looking in the city, you definitely want to be reaching out to me, because if you tell me a couple things you like, you don't like, I can put you or give you suggestions of areas that you might want to focus your search on. And I can, you know, I probably have a video of that neighborhood out there. So that's one great resource you have, is you have these tours of on YouTube that you can kind of get a feel for a lot of these different areas. That's something I did not have 11 years ago. You know, vlog tours of neighborhoods just didn't exist back then. So you've got an upper hand that I don't. Another thing is, you know, if you just do decide to make a move here, you know, you need to have a great conversation with an agent that you mesh well with, and that's going to know what your style is or what you're liking or what you don't like, and they can probably help you find a place that you're going to love. So I've helped several out-of-state buyers, have helped a couple buy sight unseen. I mean, that's a lot of pressure on me as a individual trying to find something that they're going to love. But I feel like I do a pretty good job because I just kind of put myself in their shoes. I understand what it's like, and there's just a lot of, moving can be very, very stressful. You got, new job, new home, new neighborhood, all these things going all at one time. So I feel like I'm a pretty good matchmaker when it comes to positioning people in areas that they like. And I do a lot of, personalized home tours, and I even drive around little neighborhoods saying, these are the homes that are on the street. There's some railroad tracks around the corner, or, ooh, don't get this home. It looks great in pictures, but you get in here under the crawl space. There's a lot of things going on down here you don't want to mess with if you're a first-time home buyer, or you got a busy schedule and you're not a Mr. Fix-It kind of person. You don't want to be dealing with this kind of home. So those kind of things I can certainly help you with. Now, if you got to move here and you need to be here in person and get a feel for the area, I totally get that. You can totally rent, rent for a year. And one suggestion, if you don't want to commit for a full year of renting, one thing you could do, which is kind of somewhere in the middle of buying something versus renting, is, find an Airbnb that you could live in for maybe 2 or 3 months, where you can put all of your personal belongings in that moving truck and put them in a storage facility for a couple of months. And that way you don't have to unpack it, you don't have to touch it, it's just there in storage. You can live in that Airbnb for a couple of months, get a feel for the city, and while you're getting a feel for the city, you can start looking at homes, and you could make an offer on something and be in a home much sooner than a year. You don't have to break lease because you're just in an Airbnb for a few months. So that could be an option, a temporary option, so you're not locked into, a year lease. Now, you may be wondering, with the market the way it is right now, is this a really good time to be buying? I mean, maybe just renting is the way to go. Well, here in the Atlanta area, in the past year, we saw 65,000 people moving to Atlanta, and I don't see it slowing down. There's just a big influx of people moving to Atlanta. You got people coming from California, Chicago, New York. And so, Atlanta is just one of those cities that I feel like was kind of under the radar for a long time as a good city to live in. And in fact, there was an article that came out, I think it was on like Money Magazine or something, and they named Atlanta as the best city to live in. So there are a lot of people that like the city of Atlanta because we have a lot of the great things that people are looking for in a great city. Lots of things to do. I mean, there's always festivals going on. We've got all those major sports teams. They're not always winning, but we do have a lot of the, the major teams here. Affordability compared to other big metro cities is relatively, a lot better than, somewhere in California or New York. So Atlanta is a very attractive city for a lot of people, and we have a lot of great different industries here. We've got the film industry, which is really huge. We have tons of Fortune 500 companies that are based here. We have a big medical district. What else am I missing? But I mean, there's a big tech hub here as well. So lots of job opportunities, and it's a very diverse city. I mean, I could go on and on about why people are moving to Atlanta. Besides, we have pretty good weather too. The point I'm trying to make is that a lot of people are moving to Atlanta. I don't see that slowing down. And, while people are on the fence about buying because they're nervous about the market, that is making more people having to rent or wanting to rent to kind of see what happens with the market. And the more demand there is for rent, the higher the price that rental rate is going. So right now, while people are a little nervous, this is a great opportunity to jump into the market with less competition. Yeah, the interest rates are a little high. So obviously you want to be talking with a mortgage professional about how much you can afford. Definitely don't be buying over what you can afford. But if you know your budget and you can find something here in Atlanta, this is a great time to be searching with less competition, because I think when inflation does come under control and those interest rates start to go down, it will happen. I just don't know when. But as that comes down, I think you're going to see a lot more buyers re-enter the marketplace, and then the competition to buy a home or buy a condo or a townhome, whatever it is is going to go up. And, you know, right now, buyers are able to negotiate closing costs, get inspection done, negotiate repairs, all of those kind of things. Buyers are kind of a little bit more in the driver's seat. And when things change and interest rates are going down and the more buyers come into the marketplace, you're going to be starting to do more competitive offers, waiving an appraisal, or buying a home as is, or you know, paying $50,000 over the list price. So this is a great time to be jumping into the market. And if you rent, you're going to, you know, have to wait a year, and we don't know if, you know, the market could be a lot more competitive in a year. So, you know, I have no crystal ball of exactly what will happen. And if I knew what was going to happen, man, I'd be a millionaire, because I could just tell everybody to wait, no, go. And yeah, I would be living on an island in Tahiti counting my money. So anyway, there's some advantages of buying. And honestly, there's never a bad time to buy. But, you know, if you feel comfortable of knowing kind of where, you know, you have some ideas of where you want to live in Atlanta, then definitely go for it. And if you want to talk further about that, hit me up. Don't be shy. I've been having this discussion a lot lately with some people that are making a move here, and I think it's a great time to be entering the market. Now, if you know you're only going to be living in Atlanta for a short while, you know, 1 to 2 years, then definitely just be renting. Do not consider buying a home, because you're going to endure a lot of, you know, closing costs on the buy end, and then when you sell, the commission costs. And while home values are increasing, and generally in Atlanta, I've seen the home increases, excluding the 2021-22 year, which were anomalies where we were seeing like 20% increases year over year, which is not normal. But in a normal market, you know, it's on average 3 to 5%. So if you're only living in a home for a couple of years, go to sell, you're most likely going to either break even or be a little under. And we definitely don't want to see that happening. And also, you know, if you're tied up with the home and you're ready to sell it in 1 to 2 years, because you know you're going to be moving on to your next job or whatever, they're going to relocate you. You know, selling a home can be a little bit of a hassle, because you have to get it show ready, let people in to see your home, do all the negotiations, versus renting something. You just let your lease expire, hand over the keys to the landlord, move out, and you're done. You don't have to worry about anything. So yeah, if you're only going to be here a couple of years, then you just want to be renting. But if you think you're going to be here for maybe 4 to 5 years, then I definitely think it is worth considering buying a home and starting building up that equity. In fact, I've had a couple that moved to Atlanta just for a fellowship at the Emory Hospital. They only lived here for 3 years, I believe. And when they ended up selling, they made a little bit of money. It wasn't a ton, but it was something. And they were able to take that money and use it for the down payment of their future home to whatever state they moved to. So if you are ready to buy and you don't like to move twice, then you can certainly do that here in Atlanta, and just reach out to me. We can have a conversation about buying something here in the Atlanta. And by means, if you are just not ready to, you know, pull the trigger and buy something, you're just nervous, you know, first, let's have a conversation. And second, you know, rent if that's what you got to do. And it's totally fine. There's no right or wrong answer, but I am here to help you if you are ready to pull the trigger and buy something here in Atlanta. With all that said, thank you for joining me on this much shorter video than I normally do. And as always, if you have questions, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, reach out to me. I'm here to help you out, whether you're moving tomorrow or next year. Let's talk, and let's help you find a place here to live in the Atlanta area. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.